Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Shemel Shah, double honor to the Apostle GMS. I'm now Allah coming at you another video. Now this is the book of Sirach, 6th chapter. Now the previous video I wanted to get into the particular topic about, bowing your ear to wisdom. But if you watched the last video, I wasn't even able to get into that because I got into four scriptures. The four scriptures that I got into, the video ended up being, longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought I'd be able to get all these scriptures in the video, but I wasn't able to. So I'm doing the other video now. I guess I'm going to split it into two videos. So let's get right to it. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6. This whole chapter is good. The point is in verse 34. I'm going to start from verse 32. Sirach chapter, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha. Sirach chapter 6 verse 32. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. So if you will, you be taught. If thou wilt. So you gotta have the spirit on you to be desired to be taught. There are guys out there that don't have that spirit because the Most High didn't give it to them. The Most High didn't impart into them that fervent desire of this word to seek knowledge. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent and wise. So if you apply your mind to what you're taught, you'll be wise. Alright? If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive knowledge. Right? If you love to hear, you're going to receive knowledge. You're going to be listening to wise sayings, watching shows. You're going to be in the multitude of those who speak wisdom. And it says if you love to hear. It didn't say, if you love to hear, listen to Drake's new album or Kendrick and Drake this song. No, if thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. That's what it's talking about. So if thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. Right, bowing your ear. Bowing is an act of submission. It's an act of humility. So if you bow in your ear, you are submitting yourself or you're humbling yourself to listen to the words of the wise. Okay? And to receive the wise sayings. Okay, so this is verse 34. Stand in the multitude of the elders. So see, it's telling you to stand in the multitude of the elders, meaning you got to be in the midst of them. Now it says stand in the multitude of the elders, right? Real quick. Now this is from etymonline.com. This is the word understand, verb. It says, Old English understand. Understanding, it says to comprehend, grasp the idea of, receive from a word or words or from a sign to the idea, or from a sign, the idea it is intended to convey to view in a certain way, probably literally stand in the midst of, from understanding to stand. So the word understand means to stand in the midst of. So when you understand something, you are in the midst of it. So let's go back. Back in Sirach 6 and 34, stand in the multitude of the elders. So if the word understand means to stand in the midst of, if you're standing in the word understand means to stand in the midst of, you stand in the multitude of the elders so that you will understand and cleave unto him that is wise. So when you're in the midst of the elders, you're gaining understanding and you're cleaving unto him that is wise, meaning you're attaching yourself to that person closely. Why? So that y'all never be separated, not physically, but in the aspect of you're constantly in that person's presence. Because if you cleave into someone that is wise, then you will learn and you will in turn become wise as well. Alright? Verse 35. Be willing to hear every godly discourse. So you got to be willing to hear every godly discourse. Somebody over here breaking down scriptures or going into some kind of history, you got to be willing to hear. I want to hear what's being broken down. So you got to be willing to hear every godly discourse. That's a person that's seeking knowledge, that's looking for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is what you're going to be talking about all the time whenever you're among brothers. But But when these things happen, you should be, wanting to hear those wise words. Verse 35, be willing to hear every godly discourse. So you gotta be willing to hear it. You don't want to reject all them guys over there talking about the scriptures. I don't want to hear that. We getting drunk right now. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have that type of mentality. You want to be willing to hear these godly discourses. Even if you may be doing something else at the time, you still want to have that, want to have that spirit. You're not going to always be in the midst of a godly discourse every time it's happening. But when a godly discourse is occurring, you still want to have that type of spirit like you're willing to hear. Because even if a brother may not be in the midst of a godly discourse at that particular moment, that don't mean he's rejecting wise words being spoken. He's just doing something else at that moment. But if you got that type of spirit where you're rejecting these godly discourses, then that's a problem. When you're willingly going out your way to not hear it because you just don't want to. That's the issue. And let not the parables of understanding escape you. So you got to not let these parables of understanding escape you. That's why you got to constantly study. You got to constantly ponder, wonder, think about these scriptures. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him. So you got to be in the midst of that individual often. If you see a man of understanding, you know him by the type of company that you keep. Because you had guys in Troop years ago that was like hangout brothers. They hangout guys. They always around when music is playing. They always around when brothers is drinking and chilling, so to speak. They always around at those times. Because those are hangout Israelites. It's the hangout Israelite. You ain't really, you're not really serious about this thing. You just, around and hang out. You got brothers that's like that. You know what I'm saying? You have brothers that's like that. And of course you got brothers like that now. Ain't nothing different. You got GMS members all across the country. So of course you got brothers like that. It's all over. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. So you gotta always be in the midst of it. Let thy foot wear the steps of his door. In other words, let your foot wear the steps of his door. In other words, your feet are always at his door. Not literally always at his door, but you're often found in his presence. Alright? I could go to the next scripture, but that's good on that. This is the book of Sirach 7:14. Use not many words in the multitude of elders. Right, so you don't want to use a lot of words when you're in a multitude of elders. You don't want to always be talking. Even if you have, a level of understanding and wisdom, you don't want to always be talking. You got to learn how to hold your tongue. As I had mentioned to the spirit of Yahweh Shem in the last video. Use not many words in the multitude of elders, and make not much babbling when not prayers. So you don't want to use many words in the multitude of elders, man, because that could be taken as disrespect. Those are elders. Those are men that's above you, that you learned under. So you gotta respect that. Even when you was a child, your parents or the adults in your family will tell you, don't be over here when the adults are talking. And they would have cookouts when you was younger. You had a table for the adults and you had a kiddie table. You know what I'm saying? And make not much babbling when our prayers, right? Make not much babbling when our prayers. When you pray, you want to pray for the things that you need. Not necessarily pray for once. You can. That's why I said not much babbling when our prayers. You mainly want to pray for spiritual things, because the spiritual things of Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua leads to any kind of material things that you may want. Okay, his brother doing the work. Most I say, I'm gonna bless his brother with this. I'm gonna get him the overtime that he was really hoping that he could get. The overtime he really needed. You know what? I'm gonna do this for that brother. The Most High will do that. The Most High will look out for you. But it's the spiritual things that lead to everything else. Okay? That's why scriptures tell you, what? Seek ye the kingdom of the Most High first, and all these things shall be added unto you. You gotta seek the kingdom first. And ultimately you seek the kingdom by what? The wisdom of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, which is the word. Because through faith in Yahweh Shah, that's going to lead to all of these different things that we're going to get in the kingdom of heaven. Last scripture, Sirach 8:8. Despise not the discourse of the wise. Don't despise it. Don't hate it. But acquaint, meaning being familiar, that thyself with their proverbs. You gotta make yourself familiar with their proverbs, with their sayings. Which a proverb, the word proverb. Proverb is a short, pithy saying. Pithy means short. An English proverb is a short, pithy statement that usually offers life advice, wisdom, or truth. So it says, acquaint thyself with their proverbs, meaning be familiar with it. So you got to frequent yourself with those wild, being in them wise words. For of them thou shalt learn instruction and how to serve great men with ease. You're going to learn instruction how to serve great men with ease. You're going to know how to conduct yourself in this truth. You're going to know how to conduct yourself in the midst of the elders, in the brotherhood, and even out there in the world, outside of the truth. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn of their fathers. So when the elders are speaking, you don't want to miss their discourse. I'm over here on my phone doing my own thing. I'm over here having a side conversation. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn of their fathers. See, so they learn of their elders before them. So if they learn from their fathers, meaning the elders before them, then, and they didn't miss their discourse, then you can't miss the discourse of your elders. And of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as need requireth. So from then you're going to learn understanding and give an answer as need requires. So you're going to learn, you're going to get understanding, you're going to learn understanding and know, and be able to give an answer when it's needed, when it's required. Remember last scripture we had read, last show? And the scripture stated, the words of a wise statement be spoken, not if a wise statement is spoken of a fool, it's going to be regarded because it's not in season. Scripture tell you, some keep it silence, knowing it's time, and, right? So you're gonna be able to give an answer as need requireth. So that's all I got. I'm going to here. That's basically the point. So with that, I'm gonna say, all praise to how about you now, Shad, double line, say positive GMS. I hope you better learn something. Shalom.